I gas a lot, it's because I was eating jerk banana chips today.
Jerk banana chips.
Yeah, it's fucking amazing.
That does sound good, man.
Yeah. Well, Trader
How
Joe's.
does that give you gas? Does a banana bind you like rice?
Banana does bind me, but I think it's the jerk thing. I got a lot of tummy rumbling today, so I got a lot of gas. I'm a little gassy.
Ah.
So we got some
right,
thunder outside, tornadoes, and some gas inside.
That wasn't thunder and lightning last night. That was an alien invasion fight between Space Force and the spaceships. I know, I'm making that shit up on the fly.
As you get the pre-show banter here where the signal flare goes up, you saw the tweet, you got the Twitch notification. It's Wednesday, infidels. We're giving everybody the gas face out here. From MLK to UFOs to creepy Joe-ass Biden. It's going down here with my conspiracy horseman brothers at hackerhameen.podbean.com, at Russo Brand. You might hear us on Westwood One. We might come to your indie and slap you around just because we want to, because we're the most unstoppable force in podcasting, in wrestling today. It's the conspiracy horseman, infidels. YOLO. Yo, what's good, guys? Glad to be here on Wednesday night. Hopefully, if you're in this storm belt right now from Ohio, taking everything, to now Pennsylvania coming back strong to say, hold my beer, watch me get fucked over. Hopefully, you guys are safe, and if you're in your downtime or in your bunker down below with your Amish wives or whatever, you're listening to the Conspiracy Horsemen until this whole thing blows over and you come out of your time capsule. But
I got to tell you, man, I was on my way home. There are motherfuckers on their riders, their ride-along mowers, getting the shit in before the tornadoes. I'm like, wait, that's the most important thing, right?
They hit it. Couldn't go outside and be like, oh my God, there's a telephone pole through my SUV, but did you see Tom's fucking lawn? Holy shit. What an ass.
Unreal.
So wait a minute. So you saw Hoovy, Super Crazy, and Psychosis?
No, I didn't say my lawn. I said I was driving home.
Well played. Stevie doesn't have a lawn. Stevie just has gym mats and dumbbells in the front yard.
He's replaced everything with cushions. It's all gym mats.
I don't like the impact of grass. I need
Who doesn't like the impact of grass? It's over. But, it's the fact that what he's really looking for now, it's not Scuba Steve, it's Sauna Steve. He's getting ready. The sleeves are off. Sauna's on its way. I'm looking forward to some in-sauna confessionals added to his video.
Will we ever have that? Will we have Stevie in the sauna doing the Horseman show?
Dude, week 3, definitely.
You think he's going to start talking like...
I had to get a heat-resistant camera because the other one just wouldn't stand up. Because
I've already started looking up companies that sell those.
I got an underwater heat-resistant camera. It's meant especially to go in lava, but this one will just float on top. Oh,
we're gonna go shoot a documentary on Mustafar.
Who's that? The fucking GameStop customer that you just did?
I didn't know.
That was my bad. It's my bad impersonation of been doing your in a bad impersonation of you. Sounded more like Johnny Aston. He sounded more like you.
Right on.
Hey kid, you want a contract? Get in the sauna.
As the bits roll in, appreciate it, guys. Ex-Butcher in the house, Jay Howell, Ben Espinoza, Justin French, the Monroeville,
Super Legend 666.
Mauler.
Subscribe, right? That means something.
Subscription, yeah, absolutely. Paying for subscriptions is awesome. Dogheads, we love it all. You guys appreciate all the bits, crypto, whatever the fuck it is.
Tell Justin French over there that he needs to stop grinding all those tires and going on Grindr and buy himself some Grammarly so he can get some spelling check on his Twitters, on his tweets that he does on the Twitter over there, because he's really embarrassing himself.
Yeah, they have a tough time. They get excited when they talk to big celebrities. It's just how it goes sometimes, man. So, the Disco Ultravolta, not too breaking of news because we've been talking about it today with the gimmick crossover wrestling. Terry Runnels busted at the airport, being held now, I think, on $2,000 bail or $5,000. I couldn't remember the number, but with a Glock and hollow points, 11 hollow points, man, and concealed, not like when you're even on airport grounds, and I know the rules on this pretty well, because guys I hunt with take their pistols out to elk hunt in Colorado with their rifles, because they don't want to have to put it down with a second shot with a Win Mag 300. That's just brutal up close. So you have to have everything unloaded, and the bullets can't even be in the same hard case as the pistol. And then depending on which state you're going to, the clips can't even be in the same hard case as the pistol or the bullets themselves.
And sometimes the cases are made to put the box and the ammo with the actual rifle.
Absolutely, yeah. A lot of them are, but you just can't do it. You have to buy an extra case for it, depending on where you're going. Alaska and Colorado are pretty lax, but that doesn't mean in Texas, but other places definitely are not. So this is strange, man. No real explanation of why she's carrying a Glock with hollow points, which are man stoppers, And
she was going to meet up with New Jack for a fucking one night.
Yeah, one night only, December to Dismember. She's getting on the flight to the new Saudi pay-per-view. So, Stevie, what are you thinking here, man? Why is Mama carrying heat?
I have no idea. It carries 5 years, possibly in prison, $5,000 fine. The bond was $2,000, meaning she can pay 10%, I think, and get out. Yes. But according to TMZ, she's still there.
Right. She can't cover that 2,000 spread. So even the 200.
So
or she's staying in there to hide.
Dude, I don't know, man. She's
safer in the cell.
Yeah, she's always been very nice and very cognizant and aware and lucid every time I've been around her. But you just don't know what this business does to people. And she was taking bumps there for a while and on the indies and even getting color and stuff like that.
Yeah,
some of the
stuff. Herself too, isn't it?
Yeah, there was a lot. I mean, she was really doing a lot of physical stuff there for a stretch of a couple of years. You just never know the effect. I mean, you don't know. I mean, God, I hope it wasn't one of those things where she knowingly had that and there was intent or anything like that, purely speculation. But, maybe that's the best place for her one way or the other. Like Sal said, maybe that's where she wanted to.
You're talking about a world traveler here who knows far better than to show up to some grandpa who's just used to having it on his hip in the coffee shop and he's picking up somebody and he doesn't think about it. Oh, they ain't going to fuck with me.
Well,
this is strange, man.
This is in the business. I'm going to say I wouldn't put anything past anyone because world travelers, everybody's world travelers. And there was a certain world traveler who legitimately said, smoking weed's not illegal. You can't buy it or have it, but you can smoke it anywhere. As he was walking past a police station. So, world traveler.
It doesn't.
World traveler knows the world.
Well, how about this? Let me put the other side.
Just misinformed.
Maybe she's just pumped and she thinks she's over and she's gotten through with it how many times before?
Right.
She traveled with it.
This was the time that she got busted.
Right.
I got a question for you guys, and maybe one of you guys can give me a straight up answer. How does Stevie get through TSA with those guns?
Oh my God, I don't know. He's getting patted down. Absolutely.
Right. These are the most dangerous 14-inch biceps that you'll ever see. So it's just the wide angle FaceTime. It makes me look bigger. I'm very self-conscious. I should put sleeves on.
Stop it.
I should. I'm going to say, all seriousness, that's really the way I think, actually. But on the Terry note, this is one of those things where we really have to examine if she's exhibiting any CTE symptoms.
Sure, absolutely.
I'm being 100% serious that the brain fog, the lack of memory.
And if she's got a loaded fucking pistol with hollow points, another bad decision can be made too.
Oh yeah.
Where was she flying to?
Nobody really knows. I mean, it is
Miami.
Miami.
She's going to Miami from Tampa.
Well, that's a long. That's not a short drive, actually. So if she's going like Tampa to Orlando, then it's like, oh, geez, you might want to get checked out.
She thought she was getting on a bus. She's like, no problem, guys, got it covered.
It's hard to say because the thing is that there's really no shows or no signings running on a Thursday or a Wednesday, so it's an odd day to be traveling. If this was a Friday, be like, oh, she's heading to an indie show or a convention or a signing or all those things on a weekend, But flying out on a Wednesday morning at 7:30 a.m., it's a little...
That's a good point, Justin French. Do we know if she gave to Big Hito's Patreon? Maybe she was going to meet up with him in Disney.
Flying from Tampa to Orlando once again.
Do we have any clarification on that?
I got to say something really quick, and I don't mean to interrupt, but if we do some research and we find out that Big Hito's Patreon has more money than Stevie's camera fund, all you fans need to go jump off a fucking cliff.
I just looked through QAnon things and it said no. It said no. I said, does it have more than Stevie's camera fund? It said no.
WikiLeaks is the place for one-word answers. You don't have to even know how to read. You just
I
asked
letters. WikiLeaks. I said, WikiLeaks, does Big Hito's Patreon have more than Stevie's camera fund? And I just heard a no response. So I buy it. I buy it legit.
Yeah, and you guys can buy it too if you ever donate to Stevie's camera fund so we can start shooting the moon.
So we could look at the moon and all kinds of shit. Maybe we could have seen Terry before she got to the airport. Who knows?
Yeah, and now, let's take what we're all worried about from the Ashley Massaro side of things where we had to talk about it and say she does have her wits about her, but she is paranoid. Is there a stalker? Is there something else going on from the tape trader masturbators that she's got to be weary of? Somebody tracking her down wherever she goes and knows her schedule where she's going to go. She's going to be someplace on Saturday, so he might be clocking the airport on Friday, so she leaves on a Thursday.
All right. We got another one. Maybe she's doing the real deep cover just to get into the joint so she can take out fucking Sonny. Little shank.
It's about time to get some retribution.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to film it and put it on WWE Network?
I'm sorry, I got caught up. Why does it say you're streaming Madden? The Horsemen are streaming Madden?
Oh, that was the last. Me and Justin streamed Madden last week. I got to change. Can you change the title of that, Ben?
Look at that.
Yes.
You had your little mandate, and you didn't even change it back. Good for you.
Let's run a jet sweep. Terry 316. Terry 316. Go. How's that?
So you play a little Madden with the guy, and he can't even donate to the camera fund. Who's getting worked?
Well, I think we are because somebody showed up to the house and picked up fucking gimmicks and all kinds of stuff. So I think we're getting worked.
Think so?
Oh yeah.
Stevie's holding out for more money.
He called him JF last time. So I don't know if they're buddies. I don't know. We don't get into personal stuff.
Just friends. Is that it?
JF. Old JF.
So we have the best friends between Southern Gentleman and Trent Beretta, and now we have just friends between Stevie Richards and Justin French.
Got our Atlanta connection.
Wow. So actually, this is the thanks I get for tweeting Tony Khan, trying to get you a job.
SRJF.
Can you tweet Shaka Khan for me?
Shaka Khan.
I like that song, Almost Heaven, with her and Peter Cetera. I could play it. I could play the Batwoman song.
Really?
Oh, yeah? Really?
I could.
You won't do it.
I think I know the words. Do you, Sal?
You would.
Hey, for anybody that didn't catch it, Breaking Sal episode 5's out. It's called I Can't Believe This Isn't Fucking Canceled Yet. That's Sal says. We discussed the Batwoman trailer on CW. And if you don't think Sal can rant for 54 minutes about the Batwoman trailer, which is 3 minutes.
I wasn't in a bad mood.
You weren't.
Until I saw that stupid
thing. Watch this. See you in 3 minutes. And that was it.
Then that fucking... Now, you know what? I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it here. Ben, what are we doing, Ben? You're just sitting by letting us fucking go, and this is awful. Go. Tell us what we're doing, pal.
Sorry, I had to update the Conspiracy Horsemen. What did I miss, guys? You did a great job while I was away, everybody. Good job. Participation trophies for everybody. Y'all get belts.
All right.
Replica or real?
You decide whatever you want to make.
I want a replica briefcase.
You got to say it like Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, you get a belt, you get a belt, and you get a belt.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm going to take a belt myself.
Now it's official.
Something. As we go deep into some...
Fuck all of you people in the goddamn chat room quoting the goddamn trailer. Yeah, Fuck all of you.
Yeah.
Every single one of you.
And you know who else might fuck you is Martin Luther King, because apparently he liked to get that dick out. So a new hot topic for today is the clickbait, but it's something I think we definitely needed to talk about because it's a bigger subject overall that I want to cover. But we'll start with this new MLK story. But to keep in your mind, or to keep going in the chat room here, is, are we at a point, and I pose this question, in our human existence in society where sexual deviancy is so acceptable or crucifiable that you can do it posthumously? Or are we just finally going to look at these leaders and say, yeah, all those Catholic priests that molested boys are sexual deviants, but we go to them for morality? Oh, these politicians who are touching kids and shit, they know politics, so they can do that. That's whatever on their own time. Oh, this guy over here who's a preacher and is banging half the congregation on his world tour, that's just his sexual proclivity, but let's take his moral judgments. I don't know. It's a strange question to pose, but it seems like we're living in this dual existence today. Go ahead, Sally.
I think it's per case. For in the example, let's say Norman Schwarzkopf back in the day.
He was storming it over there.
Yeah, right. He comes out and a bunch of broads come out and they say, "Oh, yeah," and they come out and they're like, "Oh, he was fucking, he was dropping the fucking dirty bombs in me all the whole war."
Moab.
Right. He was Moabbing me, daisy cutters the whole way. So this all goes down, and I look at it this way, and I go, you know what? He was doing good. He did for us. I give him a pass. Because I am a fucking piece of shit that way.
But what if he was really banging 12 and 11-year-old Iraqis like some fucking Viking, whatever, that apparently they may have been doing, and to get their fucking, Vietnam bullshit over to just to live through it again, whatever, because they went fucking Full Metal Jacket and now they got to live some bullshit standard. Yeah. Not saying all, but,
No, I think it's... Again, to me, it would be a case by case, and I'm probably gonna make a lot of enemies on this. So people turn around right now and they go, "Well, look at Donald Trump." I said, "Yeah, the guy's a fucking millionaire and he banged rats all over the place because he could, and he did." How are you gonna be like, "No, he didn't"? Yeah, he did. He fucked everybody he could, because at the time there were no political aspirations. This was, I got millions of dollars, just brought sucking my dick while I'm waiting in line for a movie.
Or he knew about it because of time travel, and he's like, I can get my dick sucked all I want because I'm going to be president anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Again, even better. So to me, something like that, and you're going to bring this up now when you were nobody. And for example, let's go back 500-600 years ago, right? When Stevie and Al were in kindergarten together, and
he beat me to it.
Stevie pulled up some girl's dress and Al fucking pushed her over. So, and Stevie was on all fours. You're gonna bring that up now and be like, "Oh, they sexually molested me." Shut the fuck up. That wasn't the case. I don't feel like when you did that shit when you were consenting adults and you got rats to blow you at a fucking just look at Stevie and look at him when he was younger. He's a good-looking guy. So any rat that blew Stevie just because they thought he was somebody, because he had long hair and he was fucking cute, great. Right. Now look at him. But that's the thing. If they come up now and they're like, "Oh, well, this guy used to treat me awful. This guy was so mean to me. I blew him and he told me to leave." So, you know what I mean? Like, to me, I don't consider that like Stevie's path of destruction. It was something he did when he was younger, and now it's like he doesn't do that anymore.
I don't know.
She can't hear me make thumb signals, dude. That's why I didn't speak. I just
understand.
Did this. So
show him the other signal.
She's still watching. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not a thing. This wasn't your behavioral pattern. If you did something like this back in your youth, all right, great. You did something awful back in your youth and you're not proud of it. Great. But should I say, "Oh, well, Stevie's a fucking rapist from back in the day"? No, he's not. That's not his deal. And I consider that a case by case for each of these people. So Trump banged rats when he was younger and didn't give a fuck? Yeah, he was a billionaire and nobody cared. So you wouldn't either? Sure, of course not, because you're fucking all pious. Now, you're fucking 14-year-old girls when you're fucking 30, 40 years old. You still got an issue.
Yeah.
You still have problems. That's an issue.
We're also talking about status in that argument is the
Right.
big factor. Does Trump?
You're a fucking Boy Scout
is just a
leader and your
builder.
fucking kids don't. That's no good.
Exactly.
You're a priest and your fucking kids, no good.
And that's what we're talking about. We seem to be creeping closer and closer to the line of and this is where the SJW gender stuff figures in of like, I can identify with whatever I want, and show up as a furry and fucking coach kids soccer from now on if I want to, like how close are we getting to where it gets to the common person in your town to be able to identify as whatever, and people are just going to have to like take it with a grain of salt because all these other ones and even these great ones that we put up on high as American icons were now exposed. And before we even get to Martin Luther King, Bill Cosby is the precursor to this, of a man who has
he did illegal shit
to name after him, and was honorary doctorate, professor,
right. Bill Cosby, PhD. William H. Cosby, PhD.
and now look where it is. Think about all of the things in America named Martin Luther King, from bridges to Atlanta. Every other street is either Peach Street or MLK something. And, like that would just kind of, do we as a society, Stevie, are we really going to accept that we have to face this fact that these people we put up on high because they made celebrity out of them through propaganda and whatever their message was, civil rights. I'm not trying to, downplay that fact. But now that that he might have been implicated in rapes and 40 chicks on the side when he's, trying to tell people how to live a moral life, is that blowback? Is that going to be like taking down these Southern statues and all that, man?
This is the part where we talked about where the overcorrection happens. Mm-hmm. So everybody was trying to take down Trump and everybody else on the conservative side, on the Republican side, on the anti-SJW side. But now with human rights on the other end of it, which Martin Luther King is known about, if they have credibility to take him, now we have nobody. It's just like we said, like censorship on one side. And then when it happens to the side that was taking advantage of it, say on YouTube or something, people aren't supposed to be happy, but they all will be. Like, now you know how it feels, and now nobody has freedom. And now in this case, if they keep going in this direction back and forth, there's not going to be any heroes or anybody that's going to be inspired by anybody in the past.
Well, that's what Sonic the Hedge Rat in the chat room says. Guess what, people? All your heroes did dirt. Deal with it, which is the point Sal was kind of trying to make. But I think let's take that one step further. Are there ever going to be any heroes anymore? Because everybody, and social media is a big part of it, gets looked at as like, fuck you, you're no better than me, after they get put up on a pedestal and checkmark verified and loved for no fucking reason whatsoever of their own doing, because they're told to. We love to tear them down again. We love to tear celebrities. So is the era of the hero going to be over when you can tear down a Martin Luther King 40 years after he was fucking assassinated, 50 years, 60 years, right?
What was that poem, Stevie? And then they come to fuck my rats, and there was no one to stop them.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It won't be. There's no more heroes, because there's actually part of being a hero, or part of being over in that way, is there is some mystique.
Yeah.
There's no mystique with social media, because you can go 10 years back on a tweet or something you even liked. Now the big thing is, like, if you like the tweet, that means you made a stand one way or the other.
Here's the question. Back in the day, do you remember, like, all the jokes? Anybody remember the Brady Bunch movie? Like the remake, right?
Tiki Doll.
When Alice comes fucking running out and she has the fucking leather gimmicks on, and then she runs back in the room. So everybody popped for it. Shit like that is what the real life used to be. If you did that shit, you did it in your own house. Nobody saw you. You didn't fucking put it on media.
You were shamed. That's the thing. It's the era of no shame.
But now let me ask you this though. So somebody like Seth Green, little fucking half a midget ginger. So you look at him, and his wife love playing dress up. She dresses up like a little girl, and they got the room with all the toys and shit in it that he fucks her in, and he does the deal on her, right? So now, they do it in the privacy of their own home. They don't fuck little kids. They fuck each other. End of story. If they do that in their own, yeah, well, I'm saying they do that. This is my opinion. They do it in their own home, and they fuck each other in their own home in their secret little room. Do what you're gonna do, man.
Why do you think they do that?
Well, but this is what I'm saying, because it's called privacy. You keep shit to yourself. Let me ask you a question.
It's exactly what happened to him when he was 6 years old.
What do you think? And again, I'll put everybody out here. So, Papa Don, what's your fucking thing? What gets you fucking going?
You.
Well, duh. But I mean, like, what gets you and your wife? What gets you and your wife going?
You and
it's
Chuckles.
Nobody's fucking business. Do you understand? Like, it's nobody's business.
He was about to answer you.
Well, he wasn't going to answer me. He was going to keep saying me and Chuckles.
I got 37 kids. Come on, man.
But that's what I'm saying.
They
like, it's nobody's
money
business.
on the bed, and then he get on top of it.
If I turn around and ask Stevie, and I say, Stevie, what gets you and your wife going? He'd be like, wait, what are you doing? Why are you asking me this? He'd get all uncomfortable and fucking weird, and he'd curl up into a ball, and his lips would go up here, and he'd be like, nah, and he'd fall over. I'd ask Ben, but he'd tell me, and I don't want to hear it.
I got a whole list, right?
Yeah, and I don't want to hear it. Yeah. But the point is, it's everybody's private fucking life, and you know what I mean? Like, that's your thing. You're not hurt. And again, I'm going to go back to this. If you're not hurting nobody, who doesn't ask for it?
Well, it's interesting you say. So let's get to the story. It's all over the web. This one I chose from the Daily Mail UK because it was in the YouTube link that was shared with me that came from World Star. So the secret MLK tapes, the secret FBI recordings accused Martin Luther King Jr. of watching and laughing as a pastor raped a woman, having 40 extramarital affairs, and they're all under lock in U.S. archive, claims the author. Let's see. Secret FBI. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, didn't fucking Malcolm X bang a bunch of white women too? Like, again, and he was all whitey, fuck whitey, and he was. So, yeah. But who cares? Again, does that, it takes away the power behind what he said. Just like everybody, Osama bin Laden used to jerk off to American porn.
Well, I mean, he was a militant black, and then he went to Africa and saw Muslims of all creeds together. But I'm sure he may have been doing that beforehand. So, again, to the point of my question is, look at these in whatever niche they're in, these heroes or icons that are supposed to be judged as moral people, that their word is supposed to mean something of what they're saying, but meanwhile it's hypocrisy in what they're doing of their actions, and will we tear them down afterwards? Secret FBI tapes that accused Martin Luther King of having extramarital affairs with 40 to 45 women, and even claim he looked on and laughed as a pastor friend raped a parishioner exist, an author has claimed. The civil rights hero was also heard allegedly joking he was the founder of the International Association for the Advancement of Pussy Eaters. An agency recording that was obtained and bugged by his room. Sal, I think you're union president over there now. According to the sensational claims made by biographer David Garrow, a Pulitzer Prize-winning author and the biographer of MLK. Writing in British magazine Standpoint, Garrow says that the shocking files could lead to a painfully historical reckoning for the man who is celebrated across the world for his campaign against racial injustice. Along with many U.S. civil rights figures, King was subject to an FBI campaign of surveillance ordered by Director J. Edgar Hoover in an effort to undermine his power amid fears he could have links to the Communist Party. I just want to stop right here. Now how does that fit in here? J. Edgar Hoover, known fucking cross-dresser, loved wearing women's lingerie, panties while he's fucking at the FBI. Like, all of this shit is such, like, from the Catholic
These are your
Church,
heroes all together.
The kayfabe homophobia, somebody had molested me, I'm going to pass it on in the worst way possible of this time is unbelievable. Like, the pedophilia that must have gone on from the 30s to the 50s to fuck all these people up this much.
It's been going on forever, man.
And it just became more and more cancerous. To continue, the FBI surveillance tapes detailing his indiscretions are being held in the vault in the U.S. National Archives and are not due for release until 2027. But David Garrow, biographer of King, who won a Pulitzer Prize for his 1987 book, Bearing the Cross, about the Baptist minister, has unearthed the FBI summaries of various incidents. In an article to be published in Standpoint, Garrow tells how the FBI planted transmitters and 2 lamps in a hotel room booked by King in January 1964, according to the Sunday Times. FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover ordered the surveillance of King in an effort to undermine his power amid fears he could have links to the Communist Party. Yeah, I'm sure that was it. The intelligence service carried out the surveillance of a number of civil rights figures and suspected communists. They had interest in smearing their reputation. The recording from the Willard Hotel near the White House shows how King was accompanied by his friend Logan Kearse, a pastor from Baltimore's Cornerstone Baptist Church who died in 1991, along with several female parishioners of his church. In King's hotel room, the files claim they discussed which women among the parishioners will be suitable for natural and unnatural sex acts. It's an unnatural sex act, GGP. The FBI document says when one of the women protested that she did not approve, the Baptist minister immediately and forcibly raped her as King watched. He is alleged to have looked on, laughed, and offered advice during the encounter. FBI agents were in the room next door but did not intervene. Oh, wow. The following day, King, why the fuck wouldn't you take him down there, dude?
Well, here's my problem. Are they going to go after those FBI guys now?
They should. The following day, King and a dozen others allegedly participated in a sex orgy, engaging in acts of degeneracy and depravity. Well, fuck, I have a dream too, brother. When one woman showed reluctance, King was allegedly heard saying that her performing the act would help her soul. Senior FBI officials later sent King a copy of the incriminating tape and called him an evil, abnormal beast, and his sexual exploits would be, quote, on record for all time. The letter also suggested that he should commit suicide before his wrongs were revealed to the world. King's philandering has long been suspected. However, Garrow, who spent several months digging through the archive material, said he had no idea of the scale of the ugliness of it and the apparent indifference to rape until he saw the files. Pretty fucking heavy stuff, GGP.
Yes. I don't know if I buy it all.
Yeah, after the Michael Jackson stuff, I'm definitely in a strange place in my how far I go on a rabbit hole.
The reason why I say is the article itself states the reason why they bugged his rooms or his homes or whatever was in order to discredit him because he was getting too much traction with his civil rights movement, and everyone was racist pieces of shits back then. So they wanted to keep him in check. But here's the issue. If that's the case and you have evidence where you could discredit him, then why didn't they follow through on it? It just doesn't make any sense.
Back then.
They would have,
Maybe he had something on them with Hoover and them too, and that could be some get back, you know what I mean? Like maybe they had it first at that time. I'm just saying locker room politics is all I'm thinking about, but the communist thing is a fucking work. They're scared of the black man. They're weaponizing the FBI against civil rights. Stevie, do you have a tape recorder from 1964 that we can use in 2027 to play these tapes if they do release them?
Well, I only had one time jump, and I had to go back. At 64, it didn't put me. It put me at 59, so I couldn't save JFK. But I did happen to see Waldo von Erich wrestle in Texas Death Match against Terry Funk's father. It was really good. I didn't interfere because I don't want to change the course of history if I kick out of both their finishes. So,
you liar! You were holding up for a bigger payday.
I was holding up for $5 instead of $3 back then.
He wanted the handshake and the $6.
I wanted 3 hot dogs with the handshake, not one. Two.
No,
dude, this is all strictly now. This is the only reason I would tend to think that this might be true, but then the question on top of it is, why was it suppressed? This was definitely something back then that they could see they could bring him down and tarnish his reputation forever. They essentially they didn't have to assassinate him. They could have just basically PR assassinated him with these kinds of things. Because back then in the the 30s to the 50s, you seen, nuclear family, everybody was basically buttoned up. It would have been buried. He would have been buried much more then than today. So it's a mystery on both sides. Why? Is it true? And if it is true, why wasn't it brought out?
Right. If they would have caught him holding another woman's hand, they would have dropped that shit and been like, oh, look at him. He is a philanderer. And that would have been it.
Well, just a couple of things. One, there's always been rumors that he would, have intercourse with other women outside of his marriage. I mean, that's been going through. But the guy was a rock star back in the day. So, why, you know what I'm saying? That doesn't go without the territory as far as, being a celebrity goes. But here's the deal. I think this whole article is intentionally put out not to dismay or discredit Martin Luther King Jr., is to cause more controversy now and more separation between the races now, between people, because over the last 6 months, we really haven't seen much. Not much has been going on. And
summer spark, you think this is the fucking igniter?
Could be. I mean, look what's going on. I mean, a lot of people who hated Trump back in the day, now they're not saying as much because the numbers are better. The stock market's up. Unemployment is low. Not saying this guy's God's gift to politics or the country, but he's not doing a bad job. You know what I mean? So maybe people are starting to come around. They're saying, well, wait a minute, maybe he's not as bad as we thought, or whatever the case may be. More and more people are coming out of color who are talking in support of Trump. So maybe this is just some kind of tactic, some kind of psyop to control more chaos and more diversion, because we've said it before and we'll say it again. A house divided can't stand. So that's what I think.
I'm with you. I don't know much about this Garrow dude. I mean, he's a Pulitzer Prize winner, so he's definitely playing in the upper echelon of elites when it comes to writers. So he's got the chops. It's not just a hatchet job, I guess, by somebody trying to stir the shit totally. And then we get the 2027 date, how we've had to wait for JFK stuff for eons, and we got it and it was still redacted. So who knows what's really going to be and what he's seen. Might be worth reaching out, as this is a hot button topic. We'll see if he responds or not. But I don't know, man. This facing the truth of what he may have done and whatnot, Stevie. The real question is, how is Seth Rollins going to cope with this?
Yeah, this is going to hurt his speaking engagements during Black History Month, and they're just going to, I know they listen to these shows, if next month or next year he's doing it again. That would be the biggest rib on us.
They'd just play it again?
What's that?
Or do you think they'd reshoot it? Or do you think they'll just replay
apparently the stuff that they showed over the past 2 years was filmed last year, the year before last, and they just basically, put that stuff in the queue for the next year. Well, it was in the same exact spot, right? With the same exact people.
Mm-hmm. Couple different add-in spots, but yeah, it was 75% the same shit. But I think it's gonna hurt him in Black History Month. Those Iowa Zone sales in the black demographic of Iowa T-shirt but wrestling buyers it's gonna lose steam.
Now here's the other part of the whole deal. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. James Earl Ray, I believe, was the guy's name.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right.
And now there fits the 3-part conspiracy, just to point that out.
Right.
But he's gone back and forth saying he did it and didn't do it. Now I'm wondering how this fits in with all this stuff, and if it's because supposedly the Communist Party on the speculative side of the story, they wanted him to go hard line with what he was doing. There was a lot of dissension within the scope of them saying he was basically a Marxist and he was a representative of the Communist Party, but they were still hot at him because he wasn't going as hard in that they wanted him to do with his speeches and all that stuff. And also within the report, they said he was basically just propped up and couldn't really deliver the speeches and couldn't make the points and there was something going on there where his advisors were essentially the voices of what he was saying. There's a lot of stuff. He peeled back a lot of layers. Some of it, I don't know. I believe maybe he had people prepping him a whole lot more than it seemed like he went out there for the speeches.
Oh, sure, he's going to be. Yeah, he's got a big team when he gets to that level of what they were doing. But we can all agree that there was some plot to either put pressure or paranoia on him so he yokes himself and kills himself when they see that he's like, fuck it, I'm on the fucking hoe train right now. I got bitches in the living room getting it on. They ain't leaving till 6 a.m, bitch. I got a dream. And watch me get down. And then he goes out on the porch to air his nuts out, and they had a sniper on him for the last 3 months, and somebody fucking green lights it. And then they'll put it on a fucking patsy, right? So the plot's in play, whether they think he's going to red scarf himself on a doorknob and he doesn't do it. So they wanted him out of the picture because the house divided can never stand, as GGP put so eloquently, and the fact that he was preaching peace is always more dangerous than somebody who keeps the game going of my side, your side, where they can make money off of both of us. Sally?
No, my whole thought on that is that only now they started bringing in the Stevie Ray angle where he came in and he shot him, and I never felt like he was the right guy. It's never.
That's a hitter I haven't looked into a ton. So
no, I don't think anybody has, because everybody's always kind of put this away and been like, he did it. And there's never been
the classic Southern white supremacist type, right?
Right.
Yeah,
there's never been a grassy knoll.
You hear the name Earl Ray shot a black guy, you're like, oh, of course he fucking did.
James Earl Ray, of course you did.
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, there was no grassy knoll for him. There was no lady in the babushka. Right? I know. I was making a joke. My bad. I'll stop that.
It's the gym mat knoll now. There are gym mats down on the no grass.
So
second shooter on the gym
we didn't have that. We didn't have the lady in the babushka, and of course now I'm sure people will go and bust out all these pictures of the still, and they'll be like, oh look, he's here, and look at this guy. Looks so.
Well, there was a new one point where you see all those guys pointing on the porch that they were actually pointing to the WrestleMania sign.
That is true. That is true.
Somebody might have photoshopped that as a joke once.
No, I don't think so. I think that was a shoot.
No,
that's
the real.
Sorry.
That's a shoot.
Let's not forget that an entire political career was built that day when Jesse Jackson did the thing where he allegedly wiped the blood. He said he was closer to and he was holding his hand or whatever. He was there, but he basically saw a way to get himself over with that.
And also plenty of Jesse Jackson extramarital affairs, learning from the masters here. I'm sure he was probably at that orgy if it went down that day, right?
Yeah. Is that true? Is that still the story that he says he was there, but people know he just kind of like snuck himself in to the inner circle?
Who, Jesse Jackson?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you saw the way he was looking at Ariana Grande with Bill Clinton and the other guy, what's his name? Sharpton at the funeral. Remember?
Yeah.
Drooling over her like crazy. So it wouldn't be put past them if they were all doing Eiffel Towers together in the hot tags, in the hotel rooms back in the day.
Tag first. We're in there. Yeah, man. I mean, this is a tough one to address because of who we are, of children of the 80s and 90s, or 1880s and 1890s, and that we were taught kind of in this renaissance of, sure, there's race stuff going on, but we're all gonna come together, and the appreciation in the hip hop era and da-da-da. Now to go back, this is gonna undermine a lot of that kindergarten conditioning that we all came up
I was
with.
Just gonna say, man, growing up 138, this was a thing that made people come together. So when we were kids in school learning about this, it was like, we saw people get shot in TV and stuff all the time, but this was, why did this guy get killed? He's a good guy. Why did this happen? And this was black and white kids, and not a lot of racial problems growing in grammar school. You know what I mean? And this was something that just made everybody go, wow. And then to come to think years later that it's, again, I still don't see, I know there was a reason for it. This wasn't just, oh, he's a black guy, I don't like it. Like, I don't feel like at all that's the deal.
Right.
But again, I don't think this takes away from his message. You know what I mean? Okay, granted, do I want to
say though? Does it take now that we see all the shit? It's taken away from Bill Cosby, dude. It has.
Right. But you know what? Here's the thing. Let me just say this. If right after Leonard Part 6, fucking Bilby took
Ghost Dad.
Took one to the dome, we'd all be like, oh, Bill Cosby. And then fucking that gruesome broad was like, hey, rape me with some roofies. We'd all be like, oh, fuck you. That's rude. So, and it would all be posthumous and nobody would give a fuck. The same way I think for Martin Luther King, he gets this pass because really, what are you going to do? What
happens when the tapes come out in fucking 7 years, man? And he's in there. Yeah.
Bang that bitch.
Vince. Yeah. Like,
I just think it's not fucking his message up because he wanted everybody to get together so he could fuck everybody.
Do you think
blacks, whites,
do him more?
He was a uniter. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, blacks, whites. He wanted everybody to get together and have peace, and then him get a little piece on the side.
That's actually a strategy of
cults.
Minority to I don't want to say muddy the waters, but like to do the opposite of the eugenics of what the master race was trying to do, supposedly in Hitler's shit. So. That's where we went in the 90s, and it was awesome. But it's because of the movement based off of his death. Sure, we had to get through the Vietnam War, which is also a uniter of race when you're sending poor kids from all communities together to go to fight for a cause. It doesn't matter what color you are when you got bullets whizzing by your head and the guy in the foxhole next to you is, you got his back and he's got yours. So. That was a big part of what conditioned us. But I think if they can undo Bill Cosby while he's alive at this time, I think if they really get a hold of it, because here's the other thing. I also predict by after this next October, Columbus Day will no longer be a national holiday.
Really? Okay.
Don't tell that Tony Soprano.
All right, let me ask you a question.
There'll be major blowback, and the Italians will take it off like a Jewish holiday. Absolutely, they will, but that'll be the compromise. But it'll no longer be an American national holiday.
So let me ask this question of you, gentlemen, and I'll ask you three, and then your smooth brains in the fucking room. So they come to find out Jesus did exist. Jesus was a dude, a legit guy for real, and he was black. Now, part two of this. Do you think everybody, all the Italians and every other white person who has pictures of white Jesus in their house, do you think they're going to go, nope, yeah, you're done? Absolutely not. I think right now, personally, if you were to come out with Martin Luther and say, this dude had his dick out in everybody's mouth you've ever seen him in a picture with, are they going to be like, oh, poor Martin Luther King, what a piece of shit, you're out? Nope.
I think,
too late.
I think
He's
so.
dead, it's over. And so I want to ask you that question about, let's go back to the Jesus part.
It's because of this, though. It's because people don't want to be driving and go, Martin Luther King Bridge, and think about him fucking having orgies. It's no longer about, I have a dream.
Are they just going to moolah it and call it something different? And they'll call it like the fucking, the Red Duck Bridge? Yeah. Right? Because the red duck is native to the land, so we'll call it the red duck land, bridge.
I can see. Can't you see the SJW stuff pushing it that far?
But now, okay, it can't ever be a white SJW because then it'd be like, you're racist. You just want black people to be down.
No,
so they'll never do it. They'll never do it.
It would be white people going, we need to name this after the indigenous native tribes that we stole this land from. And what was there? What type of moss grew here? Oh, it's the green blue bridge, moss bridge from now on. They'll get to that level, dude. That's how far they will fucking take us.
Well, fair enough. I think he's already done his deal. They're not going to do anything. They could destroy what's there, but his what's it? The candle burned out long before the legend of you did, man. That's.
I have a dream I'll get that pussy.
So let me ask you guys that question. So it turns out Jesus is a real dude. He's a black guy. Do you stop digging the white Jesus?
Well,
I was never down with him anyway. I thought he.
I'm asking these two motherfuckers.
first of all, Jesus wasn't white. He wasn't black. If anything, he'd look more Middle Eastern because of geography and just the schematics. The schematics of where he was born and the people that lived in that area at the time.
Perfect.
He'd be more olive complexion, more curlier hair. He would look more Middle Eastern than anything else.
You have just echoed exactly. I know you're not in the chat room. Jesus should be dark-skinned. He was from the Middle East. Should he look like the dude running 7-Eleven? That is from your buddy, Justin French.
Well, Justin French, that's racist
exactly
because most people who run 7-Elevens are Indians. They're not from the Middle East.
Guys who run 911s are from the Middle East.
Thank you. And the guys who run the super shows for the WWE are from the Middle East.
Right.
But regardless of that, the fact is you just have to accept things for what they are. And the powers that be, it's like a territory. So let me explain this wrestling-wise. So not you three, but the smooth mouth breathers and the smooth brains in the chat room can understand. I knew I was going to pop.
Smooth mouth breather.
Look, decided to wake up when I fuck up.
Yeah.
Every time a new booker came into a territory back in the day, everything got changed. Talent, champions, whatever, to fit that person's liking. And most likely, it would be the person who was booking the territory. His champion would be some kind of a reflection of that booker. Look at McMahon. He likes the bigger guys, the muscular guys, the bigger-than-life guys. Look at Jim Crockett. He likes the guys who are showmanships, who can bring people into the arenas and have them boom out the buildings. Whatever the case may be, it's everyone's flavor of ice cream. It's going to be different. This whole scenario that's going down with Martin Luther King is the same exact thing. If it did occur and they bugged his room because they wanted to get at him to stop spreading this civil rights movement, then they could have went at him. Reason they didn't doesn't make any sense. So they're putting this out now to create more diversion because they're going to know that people who are for, equality or black people are going to say, no, you're just trying to take something away from us like you've done in the past. And at the end of the day, then you're going to have people on the other side of the spectrum saying, listen, the proof's in the pudding. There's articles that are coming out stating this and that and the other, but we can't say if it's true because they're all sealed to 2027, so it's all hearsay. So you're going to have people on one side saying one thing, one side on the other, but at the end of the day, if you really, really look into it, MLK's legacy has been whitewashed. And there's a guy, he's a Georgetown professor, and I've little 2-minute clip on the article that was sent into the chat group. His name is Eric Dyson. And he said it, and it was a great analogy. He said it himself. He says, what is this guy remembered for? His I Have a Dream speech. He goes, that was his hit song on one record, like an artist, like a musician. But musicians have more hits and more records that they come out with. But no one talks about what happened afterwards. After that speech, he was becoming a little bit more radicalized in his beliefs and in his speeches. And then that's when they decided to take him out because he was starting to become a threat. And the words started to hold more weight, So with that being said, so whatever fits the narrative of the person booking the scenario, and in this case, it's the elite, the fucking Illuminati, the government, whatever you want to say. Whatever their agenda is how they're going to shape and shift this whole scenario. And that's exactly what's going on. And that's never going to change because today it's vanilla, tomorrow it's strawberry. 2 weeks from now, it's ketogenic ice cream for Stevie and everybody else with the sleeves off. You know what I mean? So
ketogenic dip and donuts, as you guys might have seen last night. Some great keto donuts I had.
Oh, after
I did a trip. Yeah, no, they're not keto.
Is that fucking real?
No, Keto's the guy in the back who made the donuts.
I had to get some coffee in me to be able to make it through SmackDown and stay up for Russo. And I was like, dude, I worked out 3 times yesterday. Cardio in the morning, Stevie Richards, yoga in the afternoon, and then went back and lifted at night. So I was like, I'm having a fucking donut with my coffee, son. So I went in Steve.
You can't blame Sal for not knowing that because if they actually did open up a Dippin' Donuts location in that open spot right near his home, then he would know about this.
I would try to develop something like that just to help out Stevie.
Listen, Triple D's too much in love right now. He's hearing the birds chirp.
I know.
And the squirrels sing.
We had an awesome day to play golf the other day, and he faded out on it. We played awesome 18 holes. I actually got sunburn on top of my head. But Steve, and then other restaurant news, Strangler
18 holes. He's all about one hole now, buddy.
All right.
Maybe two.
Strangler Steve popped from Breaking Salad restaurant talks.
Oh.
I missed. Sorry.
Restaurant. Is that when he would do the thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So all kinds of breakfast talk here at hackerhameen.podbean.com from Strangler Steve's enjoyment of morning diners on the Wednesday locker room to Sal and Stevie opening a place and Triple D Dippin' Donuts. We've got it all food groups covered here.
Dipping his donuts. Yeah.
That's right. I know. He's glazing them all out there.
That's it. She go breathe vacation for a week. Yeah.
So, to go back as we
I
shift
want to answer
out
Sal's question first.
Go ahead, please.
Because it's very important. I think this lends the other thing of once we say something is the way it is, we don't need to do any further research. They can never be changed. There's nothing in human history that can ever be fluid. It has to be static. Once it goes into the textbook from 1st to 12th grade, it can never be changed. I hate that. I just want to know the truth. I don't care about that. Just like Martin Luther King had his representation of his quotes and what he did and his acts publicly. Jesus is the same thing. It doesn't matter what color he is. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman, actually. It just matters what he or she might represent. Because there are people that believe that Jesus wasn't even a man, that she was a woman.
And did she was like, fuck this, I ain't putting any of you over. Fuck you, I'm doing it myself.
Well, what
Fuck
she did was God parted the Red Sea, and she turned around to Lucius Fox's great grandfather and said, I'm not going to let a man takes credits for a woman's work. And that was it. And he said this tomb is literal perfection. And she goes, it will be when it fits a woman.
When it fits a woman. And then she wouldn't even give the fucking soldiers the satisfaction. She nailed herself to that cross.
No, they were going to nail her, and then she started hitting everybody with frying pans on Calvary.
And it came out years later that those Roman soldiers were nailing her before they got her to the cross.
Oh, God.
There we are.
Gave her that's war helmets.
That's sorry.
That's too
far. That was the line.
Come on. Strong style out here tonight, guys. When you got to bang back on MLK rumors, there's no better place to be in the locker room here with the Conspiracy Horsemen because we don't give a fuck. It's gloves off.
You think we're gonna make the 700 channel after that? Be able to get on there with Sting and Luger?
Well, I can only hope. Isn't he on the Crypt Keeper gimmick there?
He was resurrected too.
No, that's Breaking Sal's episode 4. Where he said he saw him and he weighed about 6 pounds.
As we move back into the kind of the opening postulate, creepy Joe Biden tells 10-year-old girl, I'll bet you're as bright as you are good looking. If you thought Joe Biden's penchant for groping unsuspecting adult women and sniffing their hair was creepy, just wait until you see this. Despite his promises to be more mindful and respectful of others, especially women's personal space, the former vice president oozed sleaze during his interaction with a 10-year-old girl during American Federation of Teachers town hall in Houston. After the young girl asked Biden a question, he exclaimed, I'll bet you're as bright as you are good looking. Before leaning over her, should be leaning, I think, to meet the reporters in the room, which produced the following photo. During the impromptu meet and greet, Biden was photographed whispering something into the young girl's ear. You can look it up. It's as creepy as you fucking can imagine it to be. An old white-haired motherfucker talking to a 10-year-old.
Can you do a Bill Clinton impression where he says, hold my cock instead of hold my dick?
That's nice form, Joe, but I would go a little bit on the training bra there. You could probably get a little strap if you wanted to, pal. Look at her. She's smiling. She likes it. Go in a little bit closer, Joe. She's looking at your watch.
I like you do the Vince body motions like, yeah, I gotta get in there.
I'll hang out with Vince.
All the same.
I like Vince.
Hey, speaking about body motion, just to talk a little off topic here for one quick second before CTE kicks in and I do the JOB. You guys see the clip with Anderson Cooper reacting to Judge Napolitano, I think her name is, right?
Yeah, Napolitano.
You see that weird reaction like a fucking...
It's not a her, but yeah, he does look like a lesbian, but go ahead.
No, I said, no, his reaction to her, I said.
You're talking about Janine Pirro.
Oh, I thought he said Joe Napolitano. I was like,
that's. I'm sorry. That's her name. Janine, whatever.
Janine Pirro, yeah.
Pirro. Fucking Pirro.
Yeah,
Pietro. I don't know.
They put her over on Saturday Night Live, and everybody thought it was the fucking best thing ever.
But you see, it was almost like lizard-like. It was weird. He was hissing.
Yeah, dude, he was having some. Oh boy,
he was fucking farting condoms out his ass.
I might be dropping out here because it looks like Twitch just died on me. So I don't know if it's.
That's what you get for talking about the lizard overlords, my friend. And you're in the.
You brought it up.
Yeah, but I'm in civilization. This guy's living in a bunker in the woods.
Spiro.
We'll see if I get dropped out or not.
Well, I still got Twitch up on mine. I'm running it.
Okay. Yeah, no,
That's right. He runs shit, man.
I'm on here with you guys, so who knows if this is going to fucking drop out. So if I do die, guys, don't leave here at twitch.tv/conspiracy horseman. If something else fucks up, just come back on in like 2 minutes. You know
how fucked up it would be. He disappears, we come back, and he's fucking hanging.
Dude, I'm running the stream. If you go, the stream will still be up.
No, I got you. I'm just shocked that my internet's not coming up, but I'm here.
Ben. Stevie is the showman of the team. Calm down. All right there, Marty? Relax.
I think he's in coots with AEW and WWE. He's got to take a text.
Could be, pal. I actually, Cody, yeah, good match, bud. Shouldn't have gone over. I just like to see the chat room, and it freaks me out when I'm not there. But I am back, and it is loading at Twitch.
282 comments so far in the chat room. Very active.
Yeah,
it's mostly me being an asshole.
I just saw that.
Oh, good. That's what you get here on the Ultra Kayfabe transmission. You want to join us Wednesday, 6:15 p.m. You know, that's the best part for our hardcore diehards is getting to interact with Sal and Stevie and myself. GGP's usually out of the chat room because it would just be too aggravating for him, and we'll convey any messages.
That and because I don't know how to work it while I have you guys on Skype. I'm not technologically advanced like Sal over there.
Don't undersell yourself. You got it, buddy.
270 is Sal, and the other 12 is fucking Justin French talking about how he likes to grind up on tires.
Yeah. Just to get back to Creepy Joe, the Twitterverse goes off, from Congress people on both sides even who want him out of there, really. Just saying, dude, this is not the shit you say to a 10-year-old. And it absolutely isn't. And the close-ups and the weirdness and the fact that he's so not fucking self-aware, or else the fact that he thinks they're so over that he's been at Bohemian Grove slipping the adrenochrome fucking 8-year-olds before they pull a trigger on him, that this is where they're at now. He cannot turn it off. This, like Martin Luther King, like half of the fucking Vatican, like Harvey Weinstein to Kevin Spacey, they are so fucking delusional, and this behavior has been allowed for so long that they cannot turn it off, Stevie, that they need to really be put in this whatever edition we're building the Guantanamo. I'm really hopeful for 2024 that they get a nice relocation there.
I really do believe this is the real reason why the liberals and the people on that side that are going to run against Trump in 2020 are very, very quiet, because this guy was the front runner. And now what they're trying to do, what I think they're trying to do, is they're trying to see if AOC is going to get a hot shot push into this, if they're going to have Nancy Pelosi, if they're going to have – there's no real good candidates that they have.
What's her name? The blonde fucking Pocahontas. What the fuck?
Oh, Elizabeth Warren.
She's the one. She's the one.
Or Bernie. But the thing is that I think they're trying to pick who's going to take Joe down, or who's going to lead the cause to sacrifice him in order to be over so they can make the run. They just haven't quite figured out I think he's too far gone at this point. There's too much stuff, and it's only going to get worse as Trump, because you have a candidate and you have a president that's going to fucking just cut a promo on him and pretty much shoot on him, where this is unprecedented.
All you got to do is fucking bait him. Like, you could set up a whole little press thing where he wouldn't know and his people are bringing him in there. You put fucking 10 to 14-year-old girls in the room. You think he's going to be able to stop himself from doing a photo op just like that and burying himself again? You could cut his throat locker room style by next month he could be out of it.
Yeah, I agree.
Fucking retard. That's straight up what he is.
You know, and not for nothing, I can see how people on the right and the far right can take this little scenario out of context, because I'm playing devil's advocate here with the whole scenario.
Sure.
You know, because he did say to her, you know, what he said, but you don't say to a 10-year-old girl, she was 10?
10-year-old is good.
You don't say
you are good looking.
Yeah, you don't say to someone you're good looking. That's what you say to like a woman. You know, you could just say, what would you say to a 10-year-old kid that you know, like a niece or a nephew? Oh, you're so pretty.
Yeah, if
Or
you come, if
adorable,
they,
yeah.
Or adorable or
they,
sweet.
yeah, they all came in their picture clothes, and don't you all look handsome? You know,
Well,
that's
let's
sort of
stop. Let's stop the train. This guy is already known for fucking doing this left and right. He's got nonstop handlers who should say, do not, he should have a dog collar around his nuts. And if he gets in with 5 feet of fucking, they zap him just for fucking fail safe. Don't get near him. You're going to fucking do it. And here he go. He could not help himself. This is the pedophile, fucked up over cult that he is in with Obama, with Clinton, with Bush, with Epstein, with Weinstein. You fucking name it. And I want them all to fucking hang.
But now, again, this is this falls into the category of he knows he's in a press conference. Like
He does
thing.
business
He's
exposing
in
bad
a
things.
Press conference.
He does business exposing bad things. Can't stop himself, Sal.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, is that some of the one? Okay, so if Joe Biden was on a boat doing a fundraiser with private paying constituents and all this other horse shit, and they would have called TMZ would have been in a fucking snorkel gimmick to catch him groping on somebody, and then I've been like, wow, that is fucking insane that this guy's taking people out on the boat and he's fucking molesting their kids. This piece of shit. This guy is not even doing that. He's going in front of a press conference and is all like,
Yeah. And it's not just like do it, catch it, and say a line that's appropriate. The line goes too far and reinforces exactly what he's doing.
And my favorite part is that how the I hate using the terms, but how the left turns around and says, ugh, I don't believe you're doing that. And they blow it off like you're the insane fucking idiot.
Yeah. That's what they do. And then, it's them.
Like you're the insane person.
Dropping in their lap goes, it won't blow up.
Yeah.
No, Stormy Daniels fucked him.
Right.
Turns out, didn't.
Oh, he got that hooker. He got her. Turns out, no, he didn't. And they proved it. Oh, you're doing that thing with Joe Biden again. I don't believe you're bringing this up. This is so tired. You're so weak. Get new material. We are every week when he's fucking groping a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
We get new material every week.
I would do nothing if I was on the other side except I would do a fake campaign thing where we asked him to come in and hang out with teenagers.
Yeah.
And be inspirational for the young folks. Yep. Yeah. Like the Parkland kids. Dude, he cannot stop himself.
Oh, he'd had a field day fucking rubbing Ian Hogg's smooth balls because he had been all about it. Because I guarantee that kid's got fucking Ken nuts with just nothing there. It's just smooth. I bet you're as smart as you are smooth on the balls, kid.
It's funny. People think that if we don't connect the dots, that we'll never know the truth. Then we do connect the dots, and it's right there screaming in our faces, and all these people on one side of the spectrum are saying that we're nuts. Now, it doesn't matter if you're left or right or whatever. Case in point, you do anything to a child that's harmful, you should get fucking castrated and tortured to death and made an example of. But then you have this guy over here touching little kids left and right, smelling their hair, whispering sweet nothings in their ears, saying God knows what. And all these parents are looking the other way because it's Joe Biden and they're all marks for him or whatever the case may be. But then you have people like this lady, Patricia Hewitt, who called for the age of consent to be lowered to 10. What, are you out of your fucking mind? And then you had the judge.
Is she the one from the Home Improvement show?
No,
is she the
Patricia
actress?
Heaton.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
What?
let's say it was her anyway. I don't like her either.
Who Home Improvement with Tim Allen?
Yeah. Patricia Heaton. She says she wants kids to be 10 years old before they get fucked.
Anyway, and then you had the other chick, the judge. What was the judge's name?
What time is it?
Judge Judy.
Tool
Not just
time.
We're just going to create our own Mandela effect with this.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
what was that judge's name?
That was a Muffle Sparks level botch that was hilarious. Where we had something super serious with this bitch who needs to be crucified, and we took it to Home Improvement, the mom from Home Improvement. I fucking head spinning. You guys go ahead. GGP, you're on it.
Well, I'm just saying. What was the other chick's name? The judge.
Piro.
No, the one that is it Ginsburg? Beta Ginsburg?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't she also want to lower the age of consent to like 12 or 10 years
12
old?
years old, yeah.
I mean, realistically, they're basically throwing it in our face. And like we've said in the past, the best, as long as they fucking show their cards and we don't do anything about it, they don't feel guilty about it because that's their code of ethics.
But the minute you try to show your cards, then you're the fucking crazy person for bringing that up, right?
I agree with you.
Again, this falls into that, oh, really, this is what we're going after? And it's like, no, man, it's like, we're trying to protect people. You want to get this shit out. You want to put it over and make sure people know. No.
We're going to do our best with this story, and hopefully, I believe, waiting for Josh to get back from me from Saved in America, but this fight's going on, and unfortunately in the underground. And, do we need to tear down these celebrities, these politicians, and the ones that are alive or posthumously to do it, to take what gave us the morality based on a lie? I mean, I'm sure they believed it as men to some degree of what their credo was. But I say a lot of things and I live it, man. And I know my Horsemen brothers do too. They're not out just because we're on chat 24/7, so I know their whereabouts. But they're not out fucking whoring around while they're trying to fucking spout truth-seeking. Or even if they were, we're not trying to tell people what not to do by any means and keep our credo. Meanwhile, these guys are on a fucking award tour slamming ass, from 1960 to fucking 2019. And now they're so brazen about it, even while the spotlight's shining right on them, they'll walk up on a 10-year-old to get their shit in. And really, he should be on the fucking Saudi tour and left over
And
there.
again, who was the guy who was ahead of his time for all this shit was fucking Charles Barkley, who sat down and they were like, but Charles, you did this and you fucking punched this guy and you did this. And he goes,
I'm not a role model.
I'm not here for your kids. I'm here to make money at a game that I liked. I love this game. I played the game. I punched a bitch now and then. I fucked a whore. I punched this guy. I called people shitty names. I'm not here for your kid.
Yeah.
You should be there for your
these
kid.
Guys are. And
that's the thing.
I'm here for the fucking...
I am here for the kids.
Me. Yeah, I'm here so you guys can go leave so your 10-year-old can blow me.
Yeah.
I was the vice president under a black president, so I know you all love me, so I get a free fucking pass. Nope. I'll fucking choke you out.
Listen, man, nobody's perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect person in this world, regardless what.
There's 4 men right here who are a lot fucking better moral character, upstanding.
Oh wait, no,
absolutely,
no,
absolutely not.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm not defending him. What I'm saying is this: before you interjected and everyone's face fucking sold except for Stevie because he doesn't sell. Yeah. What I was getting at is that nobody's perfect. Now, what I'm saying is that both people on the left, on the right, and in between, celebrities, normal people, athletes, politicians, priests, nobody's perfect.
Right.
And this whole liberal SJW sense of logical thinking is illogical because they are the ones to throw and cast stones right away, but they live in a glass house. Case in point, look at the college scheme that we just had with Aunt Becky and the other chick. They were there complaining and throwing stones at Trump. And what happened? They got caught being just as guilty as he is and just as guilty as anybody else would be.
Him not getting caught in that.
And what did they all say? They all went, oh, I'm sure Trump's done it. Really? That's your fucking go-to?
Yeah, look at Mueller. Look at Mueller with the Mueller report that just came out. Couldn't find any collusion between the Russians and Trump. And what does he state? Well, it's unconstitutional for my department to even get the president and put him up on charges. Then what the fuck was the whole point of this, wasting taxpayers' dollars?
They closed the office today. That was the big Drudge headline. So they ate shit again. Piss report, eat shit, nonstop. And like you said, their justification of being able to spin things out to the point where we get blue-green algae moss bridge instead of MLK is coming. I think it is, man. That's where they're going to let the pendulum go because it's somewhat harmless and no one's going to come through at the end of the day because the argument of did so much for civil rights but was cheering on a rape, and I heard the tape of his voice doing it.
Do we know it was him, or was it like Chris Rock or Eddie Murphy?
Well, here's the other thing,
the
too.
Deep fake.
Dude, did you see, how about that? Like, this is a little off topic, but they did the Mona Lisa deep fake and all these other ones where now the algorithm is just take the still picture of whatever and it can do a 270 full animation of your face and fucking bring it to life, which is probably as good as my delayed Skype is right now, so it might as well fucking be.
Or like what they could do, like they can make basically Obama say whatever, and they used him. They made him say whatever they wanted
I've seen that deep fake, but this one came out this week, Sal. They took the Mona Lisa, and now her face is moving left to right, and she's talking.
I gotta check that out. That's I haven't seen.
Freaky.
Cool.
And then they took regular pictures and did it, and dude, some of them are legit as good as my Skype connection right now.
All right, so now imagine this, Stevie. You never actually have to go to another autograph signing again. You pre-stamp a bunch of pictures. Put your face on this box, like the Zoltan box in big.
Yeah.
Just put one of those in, and then when they put the money in, out slides a pre-autographed picture. You never again have to leave your house, and you can talk to them. Hey, little fella, stay in resistance bands, and then $10, out slides the picture. You never have to go again. You just have to have some monkey driving around like a carnival. You have a carny.
I'm going to sidebar because you and I are big supporters of transhumanism,
Absolutely.
And this is what's going on. You saw Snowden do it at one of these conventions in Vegas where it's just a little R2D2 footbot with an iPad hooked up to it and FaceTime live stream while he navigates around the floor and talks to people. So how long until that is legit just us on a, iRobot fucking frame walking around as well?
Didn't Sheldon do that in Big Bang Theory? They put him
I watch that shit.
They put him on the fucking iPad on a Segway.
Oh, did they?
And he ran around the place. But so, let it happen. Because that's perfect. I don't want all these people at my fucking conventions anyway.
Stevie has such a sweet MK Ultra face that I missed the snapshot.
I'm just
sorry.
I'm just thinking how terrible it is to travel and go to places.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to fucking trigger you.
Brought back some future and past bad memories. I still get Burns always will email me and be like, "Did you get your passport yet?" And I'm like, "Never." The only time I'll get it is if we do the Canadian thing.
I was just asked. I was just asked if you got your passport yet, and I sent that to you guys because they're having a whole thing up there, and apparently it could be a great time if Stevie gets.
I got mine.
I could get us booked too at Crossfire. So.
Let's go. I got mine. Stevie, get yours so we can go to Japan together. I'll do all the work.
Yeah.
He'll carry your bag.
Yeah.
He'll get you a Ribera jacket.
Maybe we'll stay on the recording so my wife can get me out of the gaming chair. And you guys can see I'm ready for a 13-hour flight.
Yeah, get him over.
Oh,
better than a fucking.
Maybe you can send some fucking emails in Japanese to the gaming companies in Japan. You can get like first testing rights, and then put it on your channel.
How long before Stevie looks like the guy from fucking Wall-E? Stevie looks like the
guy from
Wall-E.
So you're on.
I didn't mean to trigger. I didn't mean to trigger you, Stevie. I'm sorry.
I triggered. I threw my back. For people that don't know, I threw my back out, putting my left foot in front of the right, and that's all it took at this point. And now I'm in a good deal of pain. Less today than yesterday.
Night he was filming his SRFF Macarena videos and hurt his back.
Wow. What is that? Navy pilot reports unexplained flying objects. Wow. Washington.
Shit.
Strange objects. One of them, like a spinning top moving against the wind, appeared almost daily from the summer of 2014 to March 2015.
Huh. Did you steal that segue from Nova? I just want to know. From his Simon gimmick? I'm just curious.
High in the stakes over the East Coast, Navy pilots reported to their superiors that the objects had no visible engine or infrared exhaust plumes, but they could reach 30,000 feet at hypersonic speeds. Quote, these things, they'd be out there all day, said Lieutenant Ryan Graves, an FA-18 Super Hornet pilot who'd been with the Navy for 10 years.
Super Horny pilot.
Super pilot, Martin Luther King's camp.
Fire some missiles into that bitch.
That's right. With speeds we observed 12 hours in the air is 11 hours longer than we'd expect. In late 2014, a Super Horny pilot had a near collision with one of the objects, and an official mishap report was filed. Some of the incidents were videotaped, including one taken by the plane's camera in early 2015 that shows an object zooming over the ocean waves as pilots question what they're watching. That's the one we looked at that looks like the Tic Tac, you know.
Yeah.
That was kind of the hot button, whatever it was, weird 9 months ago. Wow, what's that, man? Look at it fly, quote, unquote. No one in the Defense Department is saying that the objects were extraterrestrial. An expert emphasized that early explanations can generally be found for such incidents. Yeah, whatever. Lieutenant Graves and 4 other Navy pilots who said in interviews in the New York Times that they saw the objects in 2014 and 2015 in training maneuvers from Virginia to Florida off aircraft carriers Theodore Roosevelt make no assertions of their provenance. But the objects have gotten the attention of the Navy, which earlier this year sent out new classified guidance for how to report what the military calls unexplained aerial phenomena or unidentified flying objects, UFOs. Video included. Joseph Gradisher, Navy spokesman, said the new guidance was an update of instructions that went out to the fleet in 2015 after the Roosevelt incidents. So some credence there, I guess, right after changing policy. Quote, there were a number of different reports, he said. Some cases could have been commercial drones, he said, but in other cases, we don't know who's doing this. We don't have enough data to track this. So the intent of the message to the fleet is to provide updated guidance on reporting procedures for suspected intrusions into our aerospace. The sightings were reported to the Pentagon's shadowy, little-known AATIP program, Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, which analyzes the radar data, video footage, and accounts provided by senior officers from the Roosevelt. Luis Elizondo, a military intelligence official who ran the program until he resigned in 2017, might be worth reaching out there, called the sightings a striking series of incidents. Goes on to talk about Harry Reid and his funding of the program that got shut down. But you can talk more and more about this. This is New York Times, and there's another one. Here's the headline. UFOs exist, and everyone needs to adjust to that fact, from the Washington Post. So the two biggest CIA shill propaganda, mainstream media pieces of information that are going to be put out through the WAPO and the New York Times, it's contact with through the Navy intelligence officers saying that UFOs are here and watching us, especially in a time of Planet X, Anunnaki, ancient alien theory, new pyramids being revealed in Antarctica. Stevie, what's going on, man?
I don't know, but even Rolling Stone is covering this, so it's getting a little bit more mainstream publicity, using terms like the apocalypse, another sign of the apocalypse, because of this Navy UFO thing. 2004, the Pentagon just basically declassified that they were chasing a UFO.
Yeah.
This is what I said. Like, they're just coming out with news articles and blog posts or videos on the news where they're just talking about this. This is disclosure.
Yeah,
and everybody's just kind of like,
it's not disclosure. Our Facebook group, right, where that shit can get written off. This is New York Times, Washington Post disclosure. Sorry, just playing on words there, but this is for Nancy Brown. Eat this shit right here.
Yeah, but where's the paradigm shift in human society, in the world?
Martin Luther King banged a bunch of chicks. It's more important than UFOs.
It is. That just says
all he wanted to do is fuck some alien broads.
Yeah. What? Interracial dicking back in '64. We can't have that. Change the name of that bridge. Oh, aliens? Fuck it.
But that's what it is. That's what it is.
Let me just say this then. This turns into that whole, if they land on the front porch, nobody's going to give a fuck. Back when we saw, well, nobody. Then there was nobody to stop them from banging my alien rats. That's how it ends. But
I thought you were going for a tie-in UFO / black porch blink.
No, how dare you? That's
I felt
low
it,
hanging
the stars
fruit,
aligning.
sir.
And I was like, wow, he's
low
going
hanging fruit.
You could have got away with it though if it was worded the right way.
Listen, here's the thing. A couple months ago, when we saw the black and white, the jet was following and it had no fumes coming from it.
That's what this video was. It was a bed.
Right. And now here's the thing. This is a personal story. My father-in-law and his twin brother love this shit. We're not allowed to talk about it in mixed company at dinner tables and shit. We can't do it because we'll go into it. So I brought this up.
You have segregated dinner tables?
I was like, fuck. He comes back with mixed company. What an asshole. I wasn't going to call it out. Go ahead.
So we're sitting at our table, and we're not allowed to talk about this. So anyway, the point is, I brought it up because more shit came out about how the Pentagon is now officially dealing with it and handling it. Mm. And my father-in-law's brother goes, "Yeah, it's that's the video that's been out for a while." That's how it was brought across, because he is a guy who will go online and he'll look up. I'm going to look up UFOs. Actual UFOs is what he'll Google. And he'll Google actual UFO videos. And he watches that shit. So when he saw this black and white, he was so impressed. I remember when it came out, he was fucking going nuts about it. I brought it up literally yesterday. And I was like, and I showed him the Coast to Coast article. I was like, I know you dig that. Check this out. And he's like, yeah, it's that video that was out. It's been out for a while. Seen that. Like, right? Yes. But that's the thing. He was just kind of like, and he shrugged it off. Not that he's an idiot, not that anything, but it's just, he's desensitized now. He saw that already. He was impressed the fuck out of when he first saw that. He couldn't wait to come over and talk to me about it. But now I was like, yeah, but look, the government's got this going on. He's like, oh, yeah, I saw that a while ago.
Can somebody debrief me on the Secure Team 10 possibly closing down? Because I didn't get a chance to watch that. I just saw the headline.
Didn't, because last time he was kidnapped by aliens or disappeared, I put it over and I was fucking annoyed, so I didn't do it this time.
Yeah, they dropped the video today. No? Because I saw a video today that came out.
I didn't get an alert. That's the other thing. YouTube's fuck with me. And what was it? New Zealand with Fetzer and Egan got demonetized. I got YouTube strike, but I'm already demonetized. But now they're taking me out of the algorithm, so I'm not even seeing Jacob Israel. I'm not seeing Secure Team 10 alerts. I'm not seeing anything. The censorship is hardcore right there.
Well, what they did was they demonetized the entire channel last week, and basically because
they sent them a YouTube button.
misleading titles, like clickbait. But he makes them mysterious, and it's always the subject matter. But yeah, I mean, that's not why they shut him down, but they shut him. He said that they were starting to try to bring back his monetization, but this is how the guy makes money.
How is he demonetized? They send him the golden button and shit, like the fucking, you're one of the elite YouTubers, and they're going to fucking demonetize the guy, man.
Yeah, like his titles have never changed. So if you were going to shut this guy down, it would have been thousands of videos ago.
Well, that's the fucking. He's too big. If we made the move, we fucked ourselves. We let him get it too big. He got himself over. Yeah, but they did it with Alex, so they got the balls to do it. But Secure Team's not ranting and raving like Alex. He looks at things pretty objectively.
Yeah. Well, everybody 4 days ago, I think the people just flooded Team YouTube on Twitter, so he might be back. But 5 days ago is when it had this maybe the end of Secure Team, when they said they demonetized the entire channel.
Wow. That is crazy, man. But and maybe they did it just in time because they knew this shit was coming out for the Nancy Browns, and they'd start looking and they'd find him possibly. And I wouldn't doubt if he's kicked out of a lot of algorithms, because I know he's out of mine, and I didn't fucking unsubscribe. GGP.
Yes.
How are the Nancy Browns gonna respond to this? Are we gonna get even more? Because next steps after hey, with headlines like, hey, deal with it, UFOs are here, kind of like, you fucking eat this or you go to bed hungry. and as a dad, I know you know that fucking routine very well. So are they going to respond to it? Are we going to get the next level of like, and now here he is, fucking, you know, Amin Ra, back from, he's back. So is that coming next? And what do you think about just the way they're dishing out this propaganda?
Well, like we said in the past, people are so people are so desensitized to the subject matter, and their attention spans are so short that unless something happens that's really extreme, like put it this way, a guy set himself on fire in front of the White House today. No one bats an eye.
Tremendous.
It looks like the Human Torch from the Fantastic Four, and no one says a fucking word. You know what I mean? But God forbid, the quote unquote royal family has a kid. It's all over the fucking place. There's a baby. Big fucking deal. Well, anyway, regardless. As far as this goes with the aliens and UFOs, and it's just another day in the office. You know what I'm saying? Because they could let out tons of information. Fuck, they even have TV shows about letting out information. Project Blue Book on the History Channel. You know what I mean? And to that, this is a good TV show, Ma. Look at that. Those guys right there, they're doing that UFO thing. Yeah. Oh, this is all Hollywood. That's not real, Ma. The meatloaf. Where's the meatloaf? Anyway, like, I don't know what Nancy Brown's going to do. She's still going to go to Stop and Shop and go buy her organic food that's not really organic because that's a fucking work. She's still going to, go do her Pilates class and go buy DD yoga fucking tapes instead of buying the SRF bands that actually work. And,
Not for long.
What?
Not for long, she ain't.
So it's just another day in paradise. Nothing's going to change, bro. People are so fucking blinded, and they're just sheep. They just follow what's in front of them. They don't want to look up. They don't want to question a narrative. They don't want to research. They don't want to do any work. They're conditioned. They just want to conform and obey. And when we question something, how dare you? What do you mean? Yeah. You're out of your mind. Come on. Fucking UFOs are real.
I'm from Joe Rogan, I guess, man.
He's on par with that guy once.
Yeah, Mom's Meatloaf. Sal, how about it?
Don't care for it.
Yeah, I'm not a big meatloaf guy either. Stevie sent this alert. Certified organic food grown in the U.S. found contaminated with glyphosate herbicide, as we talked about Mom's Meatloaf. That was a pretty interesting little bit, not to get away from aliens by any means, Stevie, but the work of organic food, as we talked about that, where people are worried about it. All these small things, man. The Nancy Brown, she still won't eat her own fucking feedback, dude. It's aliens, it's New York Times, it's WAPO, and it's not mainstream news. It's still, like he said, royal baby. Guy setting himself on fire. Martin Luther King got his cock sucked.
I need to see all 10 eggshells in order to know that I got 10 egg whites on my plate.
Yeah. Yeah. What I liked about these...
I got 1,000 more of those stories for you guys. That should be the Patreon stuff. Dude.
Sorry, I just got to say what I liked about these stories is it named ex-military people who've retired who may be attainable that we can hopefully get to. There was 3 or 4 names in there that put out official statements with quotes, which is a very rare. That's what stuck out to me in those. But go ahead. Sorry, Stevie.
No, it's okay. Just the food thing is something that, like, we hear organic and we pay extra. It's almost like just a marketing term now.
Sure.
That's all it is. The only thing that's truly, my friend who I sent it to said, it's never going to get out of the soil. So even if you grow your own, you still have the potential to have those elements in the seeds. What do the seeds have in them? They're probably genetically modified, and then you're reintroducing it. When you grow more, you take the seeds from the fruit or the vegetable or whatever, and make more. I don't think there's actually been real food, even the meat. I mean, you talk about meat, you talk about milk, you talk about anything, we have to. And you know what's funny is we have a bodybuilding kind of like category. You can find them online where they are so pro GMO because it feeds starving children, and also it's no different. It's just genetically modified. It's not meant to kill us. It has the same exact macros as something that's natural.
Well, I mean, you can, if you really want to look it up, big
ridiculous
for that on bodybuilding.com was Lars Sullivan talking nutrition on there, so you can look that up.
He only wants the white seeds. I was going to say that if you ever smooth, please do me a favor. Do me a favor if you can. I mean, even doctors at this point, but I would not take like chemical soil, like unless they have an agricultural degree, I would not take advice on the quality of the soil or the lack of carcinogens in GMO or even organic food at this point from someone who lifts weights.
Got it. But what about, UFO? How are we going to snap Nancy Brown? Forget about the GMO where she buys into it at Whole Foods because it's 20 times more and it's got a fucking special sticker on it. It makes her nipples fucking feel fuzzy.
Well, I'll tell you how people will finally believe in aliens when they're our enemy, when it's the next act of terrorism, because nobody can ever, the USA can never be the heels or actually be, they can never be as, they always have to be the smartest, they always have to be the coolest, they always have to be the most over. We have to be the superior race, the superior country. If somebody comes with something far more superior, what's the first thing we're going to do? They're going to try to kill us with it.
Kill it, eat it.
Why aren't the aliens? What if they're trying to bring us freedom?
Here's the other one too. What are they trying to bring us freedom? But they didn't know about our new laser weapon. Who sent that?
I did.
That was fucking crazy too, right? Straight up G.I. Joe laser weapon employed now on the new Navy destroyers. I think there's one has one right now, but there's plans to have them on 3 others, if I read the copy right. And from 4 kilometers away, straight up blow the engine right out of your boat, out of your ship, blow up the missile stacks, just burn them so they can't work. And then up to, I think it was shoot in the sky, it was up to 6 or 7 kilometers. They could fucking blow something out of the sky, no problem.
You know who else was blowing stuff out of the sky? Martin Luther King. He was blowing a lot of stuff out of the sky.
Sky was the hooker, right?
That's exactly it. The sky was blowing him. And so I feel like this... Stevie nails it because that's the only way people...
Joe Biden's popped me, by the way.
That is the only... You nailed right on the head. That is the absolute only way we are ever going to make people believe in it is when they're told that they're trying to hurt us. We have to do this. Listen, we have to create this force field around our world to protect us from the awful aliens trying to hurt your children. Not the fucking guy on the stage rubbing her little pre-pube titties. We need to get the aliens from getting to her. That's what we got to do. We got to protect you. So let us protect you by giving us this, or this. Money, your fucking bank code. I don't care what it is. Just give it to us. We'll protect you from the aliens touching your daughter's pre-pube titties like Joe Biden.
It sounds like a fail-safe plan to me at this point. I don't see where we could go wrong. We've done everything right up to this point. There's no looking back with any regrets whatsoever as we move forward into the unknown, not known, worrying about all things that are important, like civil rights leaders who got their cock sucked back in 1964. And if you send Horsemen Patreon money, we will protect your children from being molested by aliens. Absolutely.
So send us cash to Patreon, to Papa Don, Greek God Papa Don at Yahoo or wherever he's at.
Papa Don 595 at yahoo.com.
There you go. T4 at something and Benjamin and somewhere else. So yeah, we'll keep aliens from your kids' assholes.
Well, I don't know about that. That's exactly, if Scientology is real, that's where all aliens do reside, or Thetans in your asshole. So there's nothing you can do about it at this point.
Purdue, your kids are protected right now.
Purdue with 1,000-bit cheer coming.
I will make sure no alien ever fucking rapes your kid.
Bang Biscuit with 400. We might just let him kiss your kid on the mouth. J Money Rabbit. Can't really promise anything for 100.
Gentle touching.
some soft groping.
Hard petting, maybe.
No Gweech play, though.
You got to pay extra for that.
Yeah, that's 10,000. That's Geppetto money.
Anything over 10,000 bits, automatic.
Yeah,
it's automatic.
The gender neutral messaging system. We'll save that for next week, and hopefully we can get Josh from Saved in America here. We'll wrap up 10 minutes earlier than we usually do because I'm pretty fucking hungry right now because I didn't eat lunch either. So, Steve, you just go
early. It's only 8 o'clock.
What's that?
It's only 8 o'clock.
Or you want to stay on? Jesus Christ, I guess I can.
No, don't we always go until like 8:45?
Out, and he says,
We do.
No, I gotta get that.
Fucking hey.
All right, whatever. I'm just saying. I just want to make sure we're on the same time over here. Maybe I thought I was in a different time zone. I don't know.
Yeah, we just kind of came to the end of it. I don't want to, put a beating on Martin Luther King, but it's something we need to talk about. And this stuff, I mean, of what we shared in the chat room. Is there anything else germane to the conversation that I'm missing at this point?
Fucking big words again.
Why don't we do the tease? Why don't we do the tease for the truth with consequences and talk a little bit about the conspiracy theory and Russo's tweet that really just that might have been a fucking I can't even say the words. Talk about a distraction.
A master of what he does. And if it's whether you want new subscribers, you want people to say, hey, look this way, he fucking will open a door, roll a grenade in the room, pull the pin, roll it in there and close the fucking door, and then everyone scrambles. And he even has Cornette selling for it by not mentioning his name and selling for it. And then if you listen to the Raw and SmackDown review, we get a little bit into it at RussoBrand.com. Of what the moves are, if you go back in time, and things that are interesting, and as us as the conspiracy horsemen can't be left out of the timeline and undeniable in an argument. There are other things that have dropped today, like Moxley on Jericho's Talk is Jericho podcast, which strangely enough reinforces scarily how close Vince is to Vince, as out of touch Vince McMahon drove Moxley off, but then it might play to someone saying, dude, there's no way they're in bed together. It'll be an interesting conversation, but if you look at all the moves in the timeline and what's happened in the past with Vince back in ECW, there's going to be a lot of good argument and conversation of what if, and you're going to have to form your own opinion. I mean, this is the wrestling world, but it is conspiracy now that Vince Russo believes WWE is back in AEW fully. Sally?
So I got to read that when he first put it out, like prior to anything being said. I literally left for a little bit, came back, everything went bananas. It went cuckoo fucking bananas on that Twitter account. Everybody lost their minds. However, the biggest response was the fucking hump marks talking about what a piece of shit Vinny Rue is.
Yeah.
What an asshole. Except you followed him this entire fucking time, you hump. This guy is such a piece of shit, lost so much money, did so much shit, but you just can't stop reading his tweets, can you fucking asshole? And then to hear fucking Cornette go, and I'm not going to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it every 4 seconds.
Yeah.
So
it's getting to me to the point with Cornette, and it's weird, obviously, me and you being OVW guys down there. I mean, you were ECW far before that and up north, but like Cornette's a big part of of OVW in the mindset, whether it's Rip or Danny or whatever, right? But to me, at this point, with him keep carrying on with this stuff,
right,
I feel like Cornette is closet queer for Russo.
I feel like he's like he needs that every now and then. He needs a little bump to wake up, and I got nothing to say. Fuck Vince Russo,
yeah.
Like it's just.
Think about all the people you had heat with who meant nothing to you. Do you come out of the woodwork and sell for them now?
Only like one of them.
Well, this tells the whole story. You have an opportunity to talk about probably up till now the biggest event that people for everything that people, what the fuck is going on with my voice tonight? For everything that people cannot suspend their disbelief with professional wrestling, to this day, people still talk about whether the Montreal screw job is real or a work. Leaning towards real still, which is amazing with the desensitized type society, the Attitude Era, all that stuff. He had the opportunity to come across a certain way on a national stage, if not worldwide, because it was streaming digitally too. You can watch it on demand. And he just made a point to basically go all in about pissing on Russo's grave and how he just wants to live one day longer than Russo so he can do so. And I know he's probably officially put it in the will, instructed his family members. I mean, it's just, dude, is that the look you want to? I mean, I've seen people that are huge Cornette fans, huge Russo haters that are looking at that and even say, whoa, wait a minute. This is, it's a little much.
Yeah, there's something beyond there, dude, than what it is. I mean, to add to the conspiracy, and we'll talk to about a timeline, I'll just point out something quick. What happened in the last month, Sal? Dean Malenko is able to give his resignation and leave. Arn Anderson up and leaves. Billy Gunn already there. Like all these hands that have been production hands for X amount of years are just going to be able to show up. Dustin Rhodes able to leave. Triple H, thank you so much for making it easy for me to leave. Dude, doesn't all this just like there's a little bit more there? And I'm not saying that Jericho isn't in on it, or Moxley or whoever, but something's going on. Something doesn't fit the pattern of behavior that we've seen for 30 years.
Well, what about the fact that Billy Gunn dips in and out?
In and out.
He signed and he still did WrestleMania weekend, the Hall of Fame. They made jokes about it. It's a lot of different
Brett
things.
Can show up. Brett shows up on the pay-per-view to do the belt after the Hall of Fame. Bro, there's a lot there that went unchecked. And then Sami Zayn says AEW on SmackDown.
Right. So I guess it comes down to the fact of there has to be something there, because why? Okay, just let's put it in Mark terms. Like let's move wrestling, get rid of wrestling right here. Okay. And you're working at your Dow Jones job, making 7 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures, whatever you're doing. And then comes along, and here comes Chuck's fucking stocks and bonds emporium, and he starts getting some big names on his side. Do you just up and leave the Dow Jones company you're with and you've been with for years, who's been giving you that living, to jump over to the new guy all of a sudden? Unless you knew you had the bridge. Unless you knew you had a tunnel. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense if you just look at it from an actual, point of view, and take wrestling out of it. Take the ridiculousness of wrestling. Why would you leave one job to go to an unproven, unsure thing with Cody Rhodes? And this isn't on Cody. Like, I'm not saying fuck Cody, but like the dude, he rallied so hard to be released. And then he became this maverick. He became this voice of indie wrestling. I don't think was organic either.
I got a heater right here. Ben Espinoza. Hey, Ben, Sami Zayn mentioned AEW on Raw and on SmackDown. Fuck you. I watch fucking so much wrestling every fucking week, you cocksucker. If you're going to fucking try and come at me because I fucking said SmackDown instead of Raw, I'll fucking ban you right now.
Dude, you're lucky he hasn't talked about fucking baseball yet while we're in the middle of talking about aliens. Did you know that the Red Sox used to
Don't ever come to a show. I'll fucking slap you right across your fucking face and give you $5. Cos.
I've been wanting you to do it for like 12 shows now. Because he just comes in and he doesn't listen to a fucking word any of us say.
Who is this?
Fucking Ben Espinoza. He comes in here and he starts talking. I'm going to see Money in the Bank, everyone. Wish me luck, everyone.
fucking cocksuckers had your chance. I was trying to take the show home, and you fucked yourselves on that. Should have just stayed fucking small in the locker room and shut the fuck up. But you had to open your stupid fucking mouth, and now you're gonna fucking get it. If I don't see 3-4 these fucking sales by next week, you're fucking gone next week.
Ben.
But Money in the Bank match, I was
to the fucking screen.
Ben, I was at the Money in the Bank match. I was there. I got to go.
Suck 2 dicks.
I got to go, and I love Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair was at Money in the Bank. I love her.
2 dicks.
Yeah, get him in you. Front and back.
Maybe I'll end my part with this point. I hope it's real for their sake, because if they get exposed for working with Vince, I'm talking about the Bucks and Cody specifically, and this whole Bullet Club, the entire T-shirt empire and the entire gimmick will be destroyed if they have any kind of working relationship with WWE.
Yeah, if it's exposed, dude, the coolness level is fucking gone. The anti-hero, all that shit is done for them if this is the real. And there's just, as conspiracy theorists and people want to rip Russo and fucking yada yada, we're going to have a great discussion about it, because that's what we do here at the Horsemen. We're going to look at it objectively. There's a lot of things in this timeline, so fucking do your research and be ready when this shit goes down, because it's not like we're going to take a hard line of, yeah, he is, and we know it, and don't try and lie to us. But there's a lot of fucking aha moments in the last 2 months that need to be pointed out. GGP, go ahead, man.
Well, to be honest, there are a lot of variables in this equation that points to them actually working together, or Vince having some kind of vested interest in the company. Do I think that's the case? I don't think so. I think it's more of two things. One, you remember how Paulie got Todd Gordon to do a promo after he screwed Todd Gordon with the whole NWA Throwdown title? Mm-hmm. And then I think it's that type of scenario where Vince is like, well, if I give him a little bit of a rub, they'll come out and, people will see that. And then I could steal their fucking business talent and their business model. Let them test the waters first. Or maybe they'll see a spark in ratings or whatever the case may be, and I can go back to my sponsors and say, hey, you see the edgier the advertisement revenue, you see the edgier product is actually going to draw well. I think we need to change it from PG to a little bit higher because they have a proven track record. Mm-hmm. Then he's using them. That's more realistic. I mean, because let's face it, isn't the Khan family a lot more wealthier than Vince McMahon? So do they really need his money?
They don't have Saudi backing, but at the same time, Khan's a huge WWE market. And like I said, I want to give all the laundry list of why this is possible. But what you're saying is absolutely true. And what they might want to do, is it a better plan to say, hey, fuck, why would we bring the Bucks and Omega in here? Let them be the anti-hero and create their whole own fucking thing. Right. And then we can go to war, and we were never more profitable than it was that. So you're on the right trail, but even the players involved might not know how they're fucking being used.
Remember the gimmick back in the day that Vince sent Hogan to WCW to destroy it? You guys ever hear that theory and that rumor?
Yeah.
Okay.
But sorry, I just want to interject. At the same time, people think Vince bailed out ECW. Really, he was behind it since '95. Is the anti-hero when they're doing. This is where the big boys play and all this, and this is what you marks don't know, and we'll talk more about it. This is the shit that's coming out. This is nothing more than history repeating itself, but people don't know the fucking shoot of how it really went down.
That's true.
And neither did the boys, and 2 of them are right here. I'm not trying to be the shitty one, but like in '95, did you guys know, hey, Vince is fucking bankrolling all this shit?
No.
Of course not.
It wasn't bankrolling my pay.
Yeah, there was a couple weekends when I was like, fuck, that'd be great.
But his check for Paul E was coming from WWE that year.
It was. Fuck it, yeah, it was.
So
we'll put it this way.
Marks don't know.
Okay.
They'll all tell you they knew. Everybody knew.
Let's look at Vince's track record. Everything that he's touched has not prospered. Not the bodybuilding league, not XFL, none of his original ideas besides WrestleMania, right? Besides the WWE. Okay, and it's been brought up in the past, and he gets upset about it, whatever. You can have a million failures, doesn't matter. As long as you can have as much equal success, one thing goes successful and you can make a ton of money, good for you. But the point I'm trying to make is WWE prospered because of what? The territories. Vince taking all the talent, not homegrown talent from WWE or WWF at the time, everyone else's talent, incorporating it under his umbrella and making them his toys and playing with them the way he sees fit, right? What happens then? He bankrolls ECW. What does he do with ECW? Well, he brings over Steve Austin, gives him the Sandman's gimmick with the drinking, without the smoking, steals Mikey Whipwreck's finisher, gives him the stunner, basically takes the whole Attitude Era from the ECW mantra of the entire Extreme Revolution, rebrands it, incorporates it under his own umbrella, and the Attitude Era fucking soars. Boom. So maybe case in point, now he's letting these guys get a little bit, too big for their bridges, and then when the time is right, he'll fucking take their idea, make it his own, and rebrand it. Who knows? It's happened before 2 or 3 times in the past.
Yeah, and it could. I want you to listen to that Moxley Jericho interview, because I can go down that path with you, and then that just fucking turns you the other way. Where are we looking too hard into this? Is he really delusional? And it's as simple as no, Stevie. Not to give too much away before we go on with Russo, but final thoughts on that.
It appears Master Shoot Theater is truly a shoot, that we actually somehow, some way are on the same frequency as the real Vince McMahon, because according to fucking Moxley, that's exactly the way he acts when he talks about these ideas.
Yep. And saying scary, danger close things of the parody that we do, but really all I think about when I'm doing that is, do any 70-year-olds change their behavior from the last 40 years you've known them? No.
Stevie, do you?
They double and triple down on fucking getting crazier and being more of an asshole to deal with, where you got to treat them like little kids.
Right. They're not going to.
And that's the basis of what's that?
Because you're not going to stop them.
No, I mean, it every day. You deal with a lot of seniors who are in that, who are they got nothing left.
GAF, man, they don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck. And that's where he is, delusional, out of touch character that I've, inflated in my mind, but the reality is it's not 50% more than what he really is. It's closer to about a 10% range of how the fucking crazy really is.
Well, look, you can see the difference in the product. I don't even watch it, but from what I hear and when I see the highlights, and from what your horror stories you both tell me, Raw and SmackDown is completely different than NXT, where NXT under Triple H's guys is wrestling.
Somebody in the crowd had a sign that said "Save us, Triple H" on Monday.
Yeah.
It might have been Tuesday. I don't want to fucking get it wrong.
Well, that's another thing. They're not confiscating as many. Yeah, they're not confiscating as many signs either. There's a lot of anti-WWE signs being shown on TV.
And when would that have ever happened in the last?
Well, how are you going to build a baby face without a good heel?
Right,
exactly. They need a heel premise in order to rebuild their baby face. They know they're in a position where now I don't think they're working. I don't think Vince is working financially with them. I think he's just using them for his own advantage. He's manipulating the situation to work to his narrative in the future. I don't think they're in arms together. I really don't. Could it be that he sent people there and said, "Hey, go milk them for their fucking money. Go ahead. Same thing he did with Bret Hart. Go make your money in WCW and then come back."
Right.
No one expected Bret Hart to get kicked in the head by Goldberg and get all fucked up. That was something unforeseen. But he probably told him, what, they're paying you a ton of money. Go. I don't need you guys. I got my own stars. You know what I mean?
But then you look what they did with ECW. Vince never came out and said, "I own VC. I'm funding Paul for ECW." Never did it. Then he got ECW, got the rights, did the thing, and it went over like a fucking flaccid dick in a whorehouse, dude. It sucked. I'm sorry.
He put his own spin on it.
But that's
the
what I'm
show
saying.
Wasn't bad.
He made it his. He touched it.
Well, listen, at the time, that quote unquote new ECW, the product itself wasn't bad. The matches were great from a technical standpoint, from a wrestling standpoint.
But it wasn't the show.
But it wasn't
even
ECW.
The guys, like even Punk, like he was treated like a fucking redheaded stepchild over there.
That was his show.
Hey, when they had Nunzio come up dressed up as an elf and he's going like this with his nose, trying to become an elf.
That was good.
That's funny as shit. That's fucking.
They dressed as Dracula too for Halloween.
That's brilliant.
All right, you infidels have gotten enough. If you're going to tune into this, you're going to have to check it out on WestwoodOne, hopefully next week is when we're recording, maybe after the Horsemen, so maybe a little shorter show. We're just going to get everybody's schedule together per Uncle Vinny to get this done because he wants to take a look at it with some outside eyes. And there is a lot in the timeline that we haven't even touched on and what ifs and very interesting scenarios of what's going on right now. And to be honest with you, if we are the ones to possibly blow the lid off this or dispel it, but if it is exposed, boy, won't that be a tough time heading into October of if people are already talking. Because if they are doing it, they might not be working it as best they possibly could to be workers.
I know 4 guys that are truly not working when they say they're on the outside of everything.
We're definitely on the outside of it, man. But hopefully, Stevie, you'll be on the inside doing some child's pose, some stretching here, man, because I'm worried about you when our fitness guru isn't feeling well, man. What hope is there for the rest of us here? So I'm going to keep pulling through tonight, man, but I hope your back gets in line here. You have the old lady walk on it or whatever needs to be done, man, to get you straightened out and back on the right track.
I appreciate that. Actually going to record probably a video tomorrow going through some of the stuff I do when it happens. So I'm going to turn a negative into a positive and do that. But if anyone is wondering about the resistance band programs, and you know, Anthony Bourdain did not do it, despite everybody spreading the rumor, and he hung himself with a red band. I don't think
did that.
I don't think that'll increase sales. But go to SteveRichardsFitness.com. Choose your program, choose your video. I may redesign the site in the next couple of days and put up the free yoga workout videos, put up free content, and just as Brian and Stewie have their conversational Family Guy, finally start that blog. I've been meaning to
Where can they get their coupon?
What's that? Oh yeah, go to Big Vito's brand. Save 90% by entering Irish.
Can I ask you a question, Stevie?
Yeah.
Is your brand sponsored by a doctor or a medical professional?
It's endorsed by Dr. Janda, Dr. Dave Janda, who is an orthopedic surgeon.
Right.
The Awakening of a Surgeon, but he also worked with multiple White House administrations, and it was actually warned at one point to stop pushing prevention or they were going to kill him. So he's one of us.
And check out Dr. Janda, Operation Freedom, a great friend of the show who we should probably reach out to have on again next month.
Definitely check him out, guys.
Love to have him back here with his Psi Arrow to show us his new weaponry. Stevie, I think I actually sold a Stevie Richards Fitness program to Bill Vincey from the Empire Plate, who was one of my students, a returning college student who now is very successful with his restaurant review show, the Empire Plate. So check my guy Bill Vincey out. Tell him Hacker Hameen sent you. Just subscribe to him on YouTube. Great guy locally. And if you're a foodie, he's in there doing it, man. But he was in the gym the other day and feeling his age, and he's got to stick to the gym, eating all this great food at all the restaurants that he gets comped at now, and they actually pay him to do the shows. And I said, hey, man, check out Stevie Richards Fitness. And he know from wrestling, obviously knew your name. But it's like, yeah, dude, the shoulder mobility and a lot of things that aren't heavy weights and resistance are where you need to be. So I'm not sure what my kickback is on one sale. I think probably $1.20 would call a square. But I think.
Why don't you ask Congo Kong, your real tag team partner, for a kickback?
I've got your belt. I'm the guy who carries your belt around, the real belt, not any replica. I have to have it in my bag.
I don't have a replica belt.
Yeah, Congo and I leave our belts in Canada. They won't let us take them across the border. But yeah, you know, whoever I'm tagging with, whether it's the Conspiracy Horsemen or Congo.
Oh, whoever. Now it's just whoever.
Whoever. Yeah, could be Assad King. It could be the Shitty Six, and I'm back with EMT and And Super Beast, you never know. We're going over strong no matter where it is. But who went over strong this week was Big Sal on Breaking Sal. People were pumped about it, made their Tuesday. Numbers were way up for a Tuesday at hackerhameen.podbean.com for dropping that special episode. So I thank you guys for recording that and putting it out. One of the hottest and most anticipated shows. People can't wait to hear it. Stevie and Sal together. Sally, what feedback you getting, brother?
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't get it. I still don't get it. It's ridiculous. That's it. I'm not putting nothing over. I'm not giving him fucking emails or anything. I don't give a fuck.
He's that dead, no safe. Get at him on the Horror Junkyard at his Proton Mail. So hopefully we'll get a new Horror Junkyard here soon. Hopefully Chuck's doing well and doesn't have a red band.
Well, we had we were going to do it actually the day we're doing Breaking Sal thing, and his internet went fucking down. I'm talking to him and I'm like, "You ready to go?" And he's like, "Yeah, man." And then he texts me back. He's like, "My internet's fucking shot. It didn't go up." So
they really hate our platform when they're attacking the D-list horror show. They don't want anybody to hear that. Fuck.
Yeah. So they.
Do you think she cut his Facebook just to recede him?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah. So.
I'm just waiting. I still think that it's great that I thought she just wanted to come back on the show after everything happened. I'll just keep bringing that up.
Shout out to Dirty Turnbuckle for their new GIF.
All right,
check it out, guys.
I got to check it out always.
Follow at Dirty Turnbuckle. Go over and grab a shirt from ProWrestlingTees.com/SEG shirts. Big Sally style, something to sleep in. Don't sleep on us, Infidels, because Sal's the leader over there, Breaking Sal on hackerhameen.podbean.com. If you haven't heard, there's 5 episodes, all great listens. You'll be laughing your ass off at work. People will be looking at you saying they're having way too much fun today. So keep it kayfabe. GGP with the smooth baldy, man. Where are we going this weekend? You're looking good, tuned up, look like you're ready for a title match.
I would love to get a title match. I'd like to get a freaking contract as well, but that's neither here or there. Let's see. This weekend, I will be doing the JOB to my family like I always do because I'm the bottom of the list over there of the hierarchy. But that's fine. That's what I live for. My family. Anyhow, yesterday we recorded our NFO, New Force Order podcast. We had special guests on, Ken Knapsack from Collider, Force Center, and new author of Why We Love Star Wars. We had a great episode. It should be dropping tomorrow. I expect all you fucking scruffy nerf herders to download and listen to the podcast and tell us how great it is because I'm on it. Besides that, what?
I was just going to say, make sure you get in the favorite color of the lightsabers before they make it go away.
And I'll let everybody know right now. No, I won't. You guys have to listen to the podcast to find out. Tough shit. So let's see. You can reach me at Greek God Papadon. Demetrius Papadon on Facebook. Greek God Papadon is my YouTube page. And my Pro Wrestling Tees store is ProWrestlingTees.com/Greek God Papadon. NFO_podcast at NFO_podcast is Twitter. And it's official New Force Order on Facebook. And New Force Order on Instagram. And New Force Order at Yahoo.com. Not Proton, which is backed by CERN, because we don't do business with that shady company that's trying to open portals and kill everybody. But that's neither here or there. But that's basically it.
Well, I'm proud of you, man. New Force Order doing great things. I'm glad you're getting to do something you're super passionate about, as well as conspiracy theories. And like I said, the last thing wrestlers usually want to talk about is fucking wrestling. Unfortunately, we have to, in all the shows we do to feed a fan base. But I'm glad New Force Order's here. It's been such a great hit, and you and your co-host and Big Ray working so hard on it. Give Big Ray a shout out, man. He's having kind of a tough couple days. I know he went out last night, got into tequila and beer, so I'm sure he's feeling it today. But appreciate Big Ray for all he does production-wise behind the scenes, just in addition to the shows that he's working on as well.
He's awesome.
Absolutely. And just to think you guys started out hating each other.
I never hated him. It was all full of fun. It was all done with love, busting his chops. But I'll tell you a story.
What you guys didn't know is that Big Ray was funding GGP the whole time.
The whole time.
It's all a work.
It's all a work.
And I got worked by it. It caused me stress, so fuck all of you guys.
Here's a Big Ray story. His nickname is Rogue Zero. Reason being is this guy wanted to talk about Rogue One. Kept busting our chops. I want to come on and talk about Rogue One. Rogue One. All right, Ray. We're going to do an episode about Rogue One. 2 weeks ago, we did it, or 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, we did an episode about Rogue One. He's on the show, does his little radio voice introduction, and he goes, guys, I got to be honest with you. I've never seen Rogue One. You motherfucker. So he's Rogue Zero. So shout out to Rogue Zero, a.k.a. Big Ray.
He's back in the hangar, hanging deep with a hangover. So shout out to Rogue Zero, man, keeping it strong back at base camp. We need you on the CB on the radio to let us know where there's incoming. But it's always incoming here from you guys. We appreciate you hitting us up at all of our Twitters, at all of our Instagrams, wherever you get at us and share us, show our merch off, show that you're a true member of the Hameen Army, a Conspiracy Horseman posse member, riding out along the plains, searching for truth with all of us. Best way to support is always Pro Wrestling Tees. You guys know where we are, BWO Stevie, Greek God Popping on, SEG shirts, actually Stevie Richards. And as always, bin_Hameen on Twitter, Infidels Bin Hameen on Pro Wrestling Tees. Not sure where to go from here, guys. We'll see what they do with the legacy of the people that have become pillars in the American history story. Will we tear them down and start anew? And will our faces end up being on the Mount Rushmore, not just of wrestling, but of telling the truth to the masses so the Nancy Browns finally wake up? But you're already here, and you're one of the chosen ones at the Conspiracy Horsemen. YOLO!